So I grew up in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur and Taiping, and also in New York City, Brooklyn. I spent about a year in New York City. I was born in a downtown hospital in Manhattan. About a year after, I went back to Malaysia and sort of grew up there until I was about 8 and came back to Brooklyn and started elementary school. The first home I had was, it was underneath like a single family home. It was in the basement. Because I was able to reach the ceiling, I would pretend like I was really high up and I would pretend I was in a tree house. I didn't know how to speak English, and the classroom teacher sort of placed me with another girl in class who could speak Cantonese. She was my only contact with the world. I feel like we were sort of self-aware. We're like, oh, why are we sort of grouped together? And sometimes we would just be talking to each other and we would have somebody walk by and just say some racist thing. I would say language was the main thing that made me feel different when I spoke in public, because when I was with my grandmother or mom, I had the option to either speak English or speak Chinese. And growing up, I actually realized that was a lot of what parents did. They wouldn't teach their children how to speak in Chinese. It was only English. They didn't want their kids to be foreign in any way. Like, I know parents who would rather speak with their kids in like broken English than in a language where they could fully express themselves. And I felt like, why should we be so ashamed of our culture? And I felt like I was so out of touch because I had grown up without a lot of family around. And in Malaysia, we had a huge family. Where I had come from, being Chinese was actually not something that you laughed about. But when I came here, I noticed that in classrooms, like, people actually laughed at me because I was Chinese. And that to me was really strange. And so I started noticing that I was different just at a surface level, and actually was really frustrated at the idea. And I was just like telling my parents, I was like, can we leave? And why are we here? And why are we living in this basement? And just sort of complaining about it and not understanding why we put ourselves in this situation. And then I eventually thought, oh, everyone's sort of here legitimately, and I'm the only one who's sort of have to hide and not speak about our experiences. I still didn't talk about my story or the undocumented experience because it was really too scary. And also, I really thought if I told a teacher, if I told somebody, that I would get arrested or my family would get arrested. Like, I felt like I kept thinking that we were doing something really bad. But after this experience, I really felt pressured from friends, family, myself, to really try to make something of myself in school, like try to really work hard. And also I wanted my parents' sacrifice to mean something. That was the only thing I could do. I feel that now the differences do make me who I am, and I enjoy those parts of it. I don't think my goal was to be like everyone else. I mean, I was really inspired when the activism for immigration rights happened, and that actually changed legislation. And I thought, this is the beauty of democracy, that you have to use your voice. I felt like it was because I just had been silent for so long. I feel like this is all part of the American experience.